If lifetime learning is one of your core values as a creative small business owner, then you're one of my people. But how do you make sure that you're getting the most out of your online classes and that they're not just gathering digital dust on your online bookshelf? Hey everyone, I'm Ashlyn, calligrapher and copywriter for creatives, and today I want to share with you my top tips on how to survive online course overload as a creative entrepreneur. So first of all, I've got to get out of the way that I'm pretty much a big nerd. My top strengths finder is always input and learning, and I've counted up around 35 online training classes I've taken since I first started a small business in 2016. Amy Porterfield, Todd Herman, Native Live. But I'm also a conversion copywriter for entrepreneurs, specifically entrepreneurs that are looking to launch some kind of online training program. So that means not only am I taking in and consuming courses just for my own educational sake, but I'm also consuming the courses that I need to work through before I market it out and tell other people all about what's inside a course. That's a whole lot of course consumption. Along the way, I've learned a few things, and that's what I want to share with you now. Tip number one, do not be afraid to pay for it. I know that there's so much great free education out there, but what I've learned is that when I pay for something, that puts my skin in the game. It gamifies the situation, and now I'm really excited to see if I can make that back. Can I make back my investment, and can I make it back even more than what I put in initially? Secondly, that said, watch who you learn from. Just have a discerning eye when you look for teachers on the internet to consume from. There's not really a whole lot of industry regulation in the online business world. So that said, just look at who you're learning from. Do they have a proven track record? Are they working with the kind of clients that you want to be like one day? That's a pro tip. A lot of times, course creators, I have learned, create these products because they're having more people ask about working with them than they're actually able to serve. So they create the digital products and put them out there so you can walk through the content on your own. The next thing I want you to do is to actually treat it like a college course. That may mean even putting something on your grocery list, like get a new notebook, a set of file folders or markers, pens, or whatever that's fun to write with. That sounds so silly, but for me, it's been really helpful in getting me excited and motivated about getting through an online course. That also means you need to set aside time for it. If you follow me at all, you know I'm a huge fan of day batching. Marketing Monday, client work Tuesday, product development Wednesday, calls on Thursday, finance and systems Friday. So maybe this means that you set aside 1 to 2 hours every single Friday to tackle that content that you've paid for. You know, all those desktop icons that you have or folders that are sitting somewhere in your Gmail. Fourth, I want you to practice implementation. Now, this is the hardest part, right? This is when I say that maybe if you're finding yourself spending more money on courses than you're actually able to consume and get through, well then maybe that's a you problem. And I say that with all the love because I've totally been there too. But maybe you are purchasing and consuming faster than you're actually able to implement. So how do you get better at implementation? For me, I just do not let myself go past one lesson in a course unless I've completed the homework for the lesson above. That's just my rule and I cannot break it. That way I always know that I'm gonna finish a course, right? No matter how excited I get about what's to come in the course and in the content that they're gonna teach me, I am not allowed to pass go and collect 200 until I do the homework from the last lesson. So here's a sneak peek of the back end of how I keep up with things. As soon as that email comes in my inbox with login information for an online course, don't know about you, but I am pretty apt to lose it even if I file it neatly in a Gmail folder. So I just come over here and pop it in our company guidebook page. If this is something that interests you, I have an entire video on my channel that shows how I lay this out. But over here on under courses is where I keep all of this kind of information. By the way, this is a fantastic course. So up here is where I would put, I've removed it for now, but the login information, like my password and username, and then I have all of the information, and I always include an implementation check too, so I can make sure that I've worked through every single module. Now the next thing that I wanted to show you is what the Google Drive looks like, because I do need to have some sort of place to put big documents as well when I'm taking a training program online. So this is how I do it. If this is something that interests you, Megan Min's video about Google Drive organization, I will link it below. It's absolutely fantastic. And so I created a folder called Learning Resources, and this is where those files go. So for example, look over here, you can see that the handouts will go in here. So I have a digital copy as well. And I'm a big screenshotter, so just dump those in here as well. Now finally, I want you to organize the content so you can reference it later. I want to actually take you behind the scenes here and show you what that looks like in my own business. Let's go over to the computer. Bottom line here, I genuinely believe that as a creative entrepreneur, perhaps continued education needs to be one of your core values. And if you've never figured out your core values before and taken the time to write them down, that's okay. I've got you and I want to help you out. All you got to do is click the link below and you can grab my core values workbook so you can work through and process what these bedrock truths are that you're going to stand firm on as a business owner. If you found this helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a little thumbs up, and I'd love to hear from you. What are your core values? What online training programs have you found helpful? Comment with those below and don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll see you next time.